Hi, and welcome back to another week at Felon's Corner, where Juri's been harvesting massive, storm-felled timber barrels from our land, hand-splitting them, and fashioning this old-school post and rail fence.
There's something incredibly satisfying about using materials off your own land.
Which frames this abandoned milking barn, now converted to a horse tack shed, with the best view around. This week the work continues. The family will gather to approve progress. And my new horse and I enter a fun new phase. She threw me again. Called How Long Can Mon Stay On? But first, a little recap of a 2-week sojourn we took away from the farm and out to the open water. Our unusual holiday started with a bus trip to a small coastal town. A shady ride with a stranger for cash at an ungodly hour.
The taxi company was closed, so we used Facebook to organise a guy to drop us at a place called Skeleton Bay. The guy's called Shaker Baker, and he's a complete random. We're going to pay him some cash.
Where's our ride, Mom? Somewhere out there in the darkness.
And a midnight tender trip in moderately choppy conditions. Good morning.
Morning.
From Clark Island. That is Rakali, a still-hulled Adams 40, captained by our friends, an intrepid couple who've just embarked on a year-long sail of the South Pacific. Just had our second night on the boat. And who have generously let us crew for them on the first leg of their journey. It was really lovely. Conditions are really good, really calm this morning. We had a beautiful sail yesterday, which was my birthday. Cheers!
Cheers! Cheers!
Happy birthday! And today we are going ashore to have a look around Clark Island, maybe go for a swim, before we head over to Flinders. In gentle, light wind conditions, we spent a few days island hopping the Furneaux group. This place is a lonely paradise of white sand beaches, wind-swept peaks, and a troubled colonial past. It was particularly special for me to explore this island, as my dad had spent so many years here as a cattleman, experiencing the island on horseback or sailing the protected coves of the western shore.
Happy birthday to you! Hooray!
With following winds, we continued north to cross Bass Strait towards mainland Australia, where in Eden we reluctantly parted ways to return to our land-based lives back on the farm.
We're back 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks sailing to Eden. Spent the last 2 weeks doing that, and I'm back on the tack shed project, or more the fence here, the post and rail fence. Yeah, first day back at work, so it hurts. Putting in another box section here on the post and rail. This one is a little bit stronger. This is to support one of the gates. And then there's one more box section on the other side of the gate over here, and that'll also be a little bit stronger. So I'm putting the post a little bit deeper. The hole's ready to go. Put this post in, and yeah, let's start. When you put these posts in, they're just never in the right spot, are they? And then all of the soil builds up around it. And moving it over becomes a total dog. This next bit I have absolutely no idea how it's done, and it's somewhat frustrating because this rail goes right through it. Essentially, we've got this post here which we have a gate hanging off, and obviously to reinforce that I need to tie it back to the bottom of that post there, and you usually do that with a few layers of wire there, and then you twist it in the middle and that pulls them both together, which is fantastic. But the twisting in the middle bit is problematic with this rail, so I'm going to try a version that comes down and tucks on the inside of that rail, maybe. I think that's probably the best bet. Tighten it up, see how it goes. If it doesn't work, we'll go from there. But also, not entirely sure how to actually do the wire. Might have a quick look on YouTube and just see, because obviously we go around, we probably want to go around until we're going to go around 3 times, I'm imagining. Tie it off in the middle.
Juri totally winged it and made it up as he went.
And then I kind of want it to look sexy. As long as it doesn't look messy. Might take a few goes, we'll see how we go.
But didn't film the process. So here's some cinematic B-roll of the finished product.
We've got an absolutely amazing morning. It's real foggy. If you're wondering what all that screeching is in the background, it's actually sulphur crested cockatoos. Something that Australia has a lot of everywhere, and they make a hell of a racket. I've got to move the trough that I put in, the temporary trough, and move the electric fence a little bit, because the rest of the fence runs up there and it gets in the way of the existing electric fence. So I moved that this morning. That's today's job. That's the fence moved. I've only moved it down by about 5 meters. Now I've just got to move this trough here because the new fence goes directly through it. But I'll move that with the forks, and then yeah, I can start augering holes for these new posts. So that should it should go quickly from there. This is called a halo system on this particular brand of auger drive, and it actually gives you a guide on how level you're drilling. So the red and the white combo shows you got to lean one way, and the green and the white, and the red and the white on the other side shows you got to push it the other way. So when it's perfectly vertical, the whole thing will light up green, which shows you're good to go. Makes it a lot easier when you're augering by yourself. I think it's like 350 bucks extra or something. I'm yet to see how long term it lasts. Obviously it's out in the elements all the time. It's getting bashed around, thrown around, and this is the battery unit for it. That actually disconnects from there, and it's just that little plug that you leave in there, and you just chuck this in the cab when you're done. It's got a magnet, so you can just stick it to anything. You can also hardwire this and mount it into the machine and just have a plug, but I haven't done that yet. I don't really use it often enough for that, but yeah, well worth it, I think. I mean, time will tell. If you have to replace it every year, then it's not, but if you get 4 or 5 years out of it, or you do a whole stack of augering, you're doing it commercially, not just on the farm like I am, it'd definitely be worth it in that case. Is there a machine that tamps these holes in? I've never bothered looking it up, and I've just been thinking that it's definitely something that would make life a lot easier.
Late afternoons for me mean closing the laptop and rides with Dad. Being able to ride the boundaries of my own land on my own horse has been a small dream of mine for years, and now it's within my reach. Whilst Ori is a dream in the paddock, with calm curiosity and a sweet, overly friendly disposition, under saddle has been a different story. I have no footage of her bucking me off on multiple occasions, but suffice to say, she was pretty good at it. I just got back from riding Ori, and she threw me again. We also had to work through pulling back, floating, and some separation issues. And it kind of means that I should probably adjust her with someone who has more knowledge than me, who can get a handle on it and then teach me. Anyway, I'm gonna go drop my stuff off at the tack shed and make a cup of tea, make a plan B. Conclusion? She needed a lot of work, and I needed some more help.
It's Sunday afternoon. I thought I'd come up and get a little bit done. I think it's about day 322 of my short side quest. But I have a fence post to lean on now, so makes talking to you lot a lot more comfortable. But today's project, I'm putting in, well, I'm going to build the gate. 2 gates, actually 2 timber gates. Should be fairly straightforward. Got to build the 2 gates. I'm going to pull down, to do it in the style of all the rest and use recycled materials. There's a fence up near the cattle yards that I think will work really well for a timber gate. I'll show you these beams up here, and I'll strip them down and we'll go from there. That's the last one. I'll probably only get everything cut this afternoon and then I might call it a day. I bought some gate hinges. I had to spend about $200 on gate hinges because I've got some really good quality ones that go right through these extra sort of thick posts that I've got. So I'll put those in. I just like building things that last forever. I just don't want to have to come back and adjust hinges and adjust gates and fix up fence posts and stuff. Like, I'd rather just do it properly now and then be good for 20 years. So yeah, I'll go mark these out, get them cut, and we can bolt it all together tomorrow. I need some bolts for this. Actually, I'll need to go to town and buy some bolts, so can't do it this afternoon anyway.
Continuing the birthday theme of this week, we are celebrating Dad's 83rd with a bonfire at the Tack shed. Nearly every member of our large family have contributed to this land over the years. From renovating to running of the Airbnb, maintaining the land, to cutting firewood or caring for the animals.
Happy birthday, Opa!
Happy birthday!
It is true what they say. It does take a village. The following day, Juri is back at it, and by now he's getting pretty efficient at the process. What are you doing, darling?
Putting in a stay post and I actually don't know what this is called, but it's like a stopper at the end of the stay post just to increase the surface area so it doesn't push through the soil once it's got pressure on it.
The remainder of the fence is nearly completed on both sides, and some more finishing touches are added, like these old salvaged hitching rings. Whilst I was off sailing, Ori was taken back to basics by some people nearby with a lot of knowledge and experience, and within days was showing the results. And now that I'm back from our little sea voyage, I get to dedicate some time to building on that work. This will be my first ride since her return, and I've been dreading another failure. But she doesn't put a foot wrong. We have a ways to go and work to be done with her, but I now have the tools I need to build a better horse and become a stronger rider. Another week is done, and we loved having you along with us. We'd also love to know what you'd like to see more of in upcoming weeks. So if you have something in particular or just a general thought, leave us a comment to let us know.